You are not lazy. And it is important that you hear this before anything else. Laziness implies a lack of care, a lack of willingness, a lack of values. But what you are experiencing has nothing to do with that. What you are experiencing is a nervous system that has been asked to do too much for too long, without enough recovery, without enough safety, without enough pause. A regulated system moves naturally. An overloaded system freezes, delays, avoids, or shuts down. That does not mean you don't want to act. It means your system is trying to conserve energy. Energy is not an abstract concept. It is biological. And when it runs low, the body prioritizes survival over productivity every single time. This is why you can care deeply about something and still not be able to start. Why you can want change and still feel stuck in place. Why even small tasks can feel heavy or impossible. It is not resistance. It is protection. Your system is trying to prevent further depletion. Most people were never taught this. Instead, they learned to interpret shutdown as failure. They learned to label themselves as undisciplined, unmotivated, or weak. Over time, this creates shame. And shame further overloads the system. It tightens the body. It accelerates the mind. It removes the very conditions needed for action. Your nervous system does not respond to pressure the way society tells you it should. It does not respond to criticism, comparison, or self-attack with better performance. It responds with contraction, with hesitation, with fatigue, and eventually, with withdrawal. If you notice yourself avoiding tasks, procrastinating, or needing excessive rest, pause before judging yourself. Ask a different question. Not, why can't I do this? But, what is my system protecting me from right now? That question opens space. Judgment closes it. An overloaded nervous system lives in anticipation. Anticipation of demands, expectations, interruptions, consequences. Even when nothing is happening, the body is braced for what might happen next. This constant readiness consumes energy quietly. By the time you try to focus, there is very little left. This is why rest alone does not always fix the problem. Because the system does not feel safe enough to rest. It remains alert, scanning, preparing. True recovery begins when safety is restored, not when effort stops. Safety is created through predictability, gentleness, and self-trust. Through small, consistent signals that nothing bad will happen if you slow down. Through honoring limits before they become crises. Through choosing regulation over self-control. When the system begins to feel safe again, something subtle shifts. Tasks feel lighter. Decisions feel clearer. Action becomes possible without forcing. Not because you became more disciplined, but because your system stopped defending itself. This is the difference between motivation and mobilization. Motivation is often framed as a mindset. Mobilization is physiological. You cannot think your way into mobilization. You have to create the conditions for it. If you want to move forward without burning out again, the path is not to demand more from yourself. The path is to work with your nervous system instead of against it. To respect its signals. To build capacity slowly. This does not mean doing nothing. It means doing less with more presence. It means choosing actions that do not overwhelm your system. It means allowing rest without guilt. It means redefining productivity as sustainability rather than output. Over time, this changes how you experience yourself. You stop seeing your pauses as failures. You stop measuring your worth by constant activity. You begin to trust that movement will return when the system is ready. And it will return. Not explosively, not dramatically, but steadily, quietly, reliably. You are not lazy. You are regulated or dysregulated, supported or overloaded, safe or bracing. When you understand this, the story you tell about yourself changes. And when the story changes, behavior follows. Let this be the moment you stop fighting your own nervous system. Let this be the moment you choose cooperation over control. That choice alone is already movement. And here is something most people never consider. If your nervous system has been overloaded for a long time, laziness may have been the only socially acceptable word available to describe what was actually exhaustion. Think about that. You may have built an entire identity around trying harder simply because no one taught you how to read your own capacity. What if the problem was never your discipline? What if the real issue was that your system has been running in silent overdrive for years? A car that has been driven at maximum speed without maintenance will eventually slow down. Not because it lacks ambition, but because it is preserving what is left. Your nervous system does the same. And here is the part that changes everything. The moment you stop calling yourself lazy, your body stops bracing against you. Internal conflict consumes energy. Self-judgment consumes energy. Fighting your own limits consumes energy. When you remove that fight, something subtle happens. Capacity returns. Not instantly, not dramatically, but steadily. Because now your system is no longer defending itself against you. This is the real shift. You don't need more motivation. You need less internal pressure. You don't need stronger willpower. You need safer conditions. And when those conditions exist, movement happens naturally. Not forced. Not performative. Not fueled by fear. But grounded. So before you label yourself again, pause. Ask not, why am I so lazy? Ask, what has my system been carrying? That question alone can begin to change your life. Because from that place, you stop fighting yourself. And when you stop fighting yourself, you finally have energy left to move forward. If something in this felt true for you, let it stay with you a little longer. Notice your pace today. You don't need to push. Just observe. That awareness is already a quiet beginning.